So I definitely think this qualifies as something that I just had to make a video about. I got done watching this trailer that I found while I was scrolling through YouTube today. It was for the new Aztec Batman, and I was sort of blown away by how bad it was. So instead of making a video where I just pan this trailer reacting to it, I decided, no. Let's make a video where I talk about why this thing is so bad and what's even going on here. So first off, this trailer has sort of already existed, and a bunch of content around this has already existed because this is a redubbing of what was a Spanish version that already existed of Aztec Batman. I don't know why DC decided to release this to an American audience. I really don't, and I'm going to get into why I think this is happening as basically a money grab. Basically, from what I can tell, this is just one giant money grab to try to get a little bit more cash out of another market than the one that this was actually created for. This appears to have been created for a Spanish-speaking audience. I think the proof of that, by the way, is in the animation style. This does not look like a normal DC animated movie or show, and that is the first glaring thing that was, and that was the first glaring thing that caught my eye when I clicked play on the video. This looks horrible. It almost looks like there are frames missing every few steps. It has a sort of 2D, 3D quality to it. It's almost like Uncanny Valley. It's hard to explain. It just doesn't look good. And it certainly doesn't look like American animation, and that's because it's not. This was done by Anima. Basically, it doesn't surprise me that their animation studio name sounds close to Anima, because this looks like shit. And when you look into things, you find out that basically most of the people behind the creation of this were not the typical DC types that you'd see around the creation of this type of content. So basically you have the Mexican DC-B team creating this whole thing and then redubbing it and putting it now into the US market, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get why something like this would be put into the market knowing that it's going to get a negative reaction, and that's not even talking about the people who aren't going to be reacting to the animation and the poor dubbing like I am. They're going to be talking about things like the story being told here, because it does touch on sort of colonization and those sort of ideas, and that's going to fire up sort of the political wing of the pop culture world that we're in. And should it, shouldn't it? I'm not going to talk on that. I think ultimately the reason I have a problem with this story being told is because it's just played out here in US markets. It's been told over and over again in everything from animation to movies to comedies to everything in between. This is an overdone story. You're just basically throwing Batman into an already told story. That works if you're in another country's market, because that market hasn't been exposed to those things as frequently. But here in the US, this doesn't make sense as a product to sell. So I don't see how this is going to be remotely successful. I don't think they had any plans on it being successful. Again, I think this was just a cash grab to see what else they could bring in from this IP. I don't get it. And if you were going to do it, why do it this poorly? Why dub it poorly on top of having the poor animation and having basically nothing familiar in the trailer? I don't know, kind of weird. Definitely doesn't seem like Batman to me. We've also kind of already done this before, if anybody remembers Batman Ninja back in 2018, which was done by sort of new production, new artist designs, everything, to create a Batman-based anime. This today is recognized as being, I think, pretty bad. The plot wasn't good, the story around it wasn't good, it was full of sort of all those Batman cliches, and ultimately, other than the art and animation being, I think, different and sort of interesting to look at, it sort of failed. So we've already kind of experimented with this before and seen what bringing over sort of other styles into the US market does, and it's not been great in the past. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Subscribe if you haven't already, and click like on the video. Leave me a comment down below if there's something you want me to check out next time. Peace.